Today we're going to be doing something a bit different to usual because I'm going to clean this oven. Now the reason that I want to get this oven cleaned right now is because we're coming up to Christmas. I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking, baking, and at the moment in the state that it's in, I just don't want to use it. So I want to get it nice and clean, ready for Christmas so we can do all of the cooking that we want to do. I'm going to take this opportunity to test out 5 different methods for oven cleaning. All of these methods are reported to be ecological and, as you can see, the oven has definitely been put to good use over the years and has rarely been cleaned, so these are going to be some pretty tough tests. The objective is to test all of these methods, find the best one and clean the entire oven. I'm not going to be putting on any airs or graces here, we're going to do this for real and find out what the actual results are. Hi, I'm Cameron, this is Stina, that's Suki, and that's Bramble. We've been renting flats most of our lives and now in our early 40s we finally managed to buy our forever home. It's not much, only a fifth of an acre, and it's seen far better days, but it's our little piece of rural southwest Scotland. We're excited to start its transformation into a cosy cottage and food forest garden that we know it can become. So welcome to Bramble Cottage. The oven, when we moved in, was in a pretty disgraceful state and we just haven't really used it since we moved in. We've been avoiding using it. So I'm going to test these 5 methods and see which one's the best, and the premise is that I'm going to find out the best one and then clean the entire oven with that method. Method 1. Washing up liquid and cling film. Method 2. Bicarbonate of soda and malt vinegar. Method 3. Lemon juice and water. Method 4. Steam cleaner. Method 5. Eco hard surface cleaner. And a few of the tools that I'll be using to help me along the way. So the first method that I'm going to be starting with is actually going to be the bicarbonate of soda method. The reason that I'm starting here is because part of the method is that you're meant to leave it on overnight. So if I start here, I'll get a little bit of a head start on the other directions. So first things first, you need to mix the bicarbonate of soda with a little bit of water to turn it into a sort of thinnish paste. Before I actually start applying the paste, I'm just going to get the worst of the crusty stuff off the bottom, and that's just literally the loose stuff, just using an old ice scraper to get it all up. Now that I've got all the loose stuff out of the way, I'm just going to pour my little bit of mix in the middle and the bottom here. The only reason I've got a small amount of mix here is I don't have a huge amount of bicarbonate of soda, and this is more of a test, and if this really works, then I'll be ordering lots more online. Now to leave that overnight. Now that I've set that up to go, I'm going to start work on the lemon method. And basically the lemon method involves taking a few lemons, placing them in some hot water, and then putting that all in the oven to cook for about 2 hours, at around about 100 degrees Celsius. So whilst the bicarbonate's drying and whilst the lemons are cooking, we're going to do the soap method. And this is quite a simple concept. You just squeeze a bit of soap into the oven, spread it around a little bit, and then cover it with a little bit of cling film to keep the moisture against the surfaces so that the actual washing up liquid can let its action take place, and we'll see what happens. Now that's done, we're just going to leave that for about 2 hours. At the end of the cooking time, I actually poured a little bit of the juice into the bottom of the oven there just to give it a little bit of chance, and then left it for a bit longer. So I figured the first thing to do would be to give the door a quick clean, see if anything actually came off there, like if it was the steam that was the active ingredient here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not using anything abrasive here, but from my point of view, this has kind of done nothing. It's done absolutely nothing. It's not lifting anything. I mean, it's made a nice polish on the gunk that's there, but it's not actually lifted anything at all. Barely touched it in my opinion. We can give the inside a little try now as well. So at the end of the cleaning period, at the end of the period that I left the liquid in there, I decided to pour a little bit of the liquid into the bottom and I just gave it a quick wipe over. And it looks like it is actually doing something. Like I can feel that it's pulling some of the stuff off the bottom of the oven there, and as you can tell I'm not using any kind of abrasive cloth. So at this stage I decided to leave the washing up liquid on overnight and the bicarbonate of soda on overnight. So this is the following day, and the first thing I decided to do is remove some of the fixtures from the outside of the oven so that I could get easier access. So I've removed the door seals and the doors themselves and a couple of other bits and pieces which are going to be making the way into a bath for an overnight soak with dishwasher tablets. Right, so the baking soda mix there is nice and dried out. It's had a whole night just to get right in there. And I'm just going to pour on a mixture of water and white vinegar. This is 50-50. Now the idea is I'm meant to leave this on for a couple of hours and it is going to fizz. Hopefully you can hear that because that's quite a reaction. Now to leave it for a couple of hours. Whilst we wait for the vinegar to take effect, we'll go back to the washing up liquid. It's been on for overnight plus a bit. It's been on for quite a long time. So let's see how this one does. Well, the cling film's not looking amazingly dirty. To be fair, this is probably the lightest marked oven. So it's the one with the least disgusting stuff in it, in my opinion. Yeah, that hasn't really brought up anything at all. Not a thing. Like you can see that's just, it's not like there isn't things for it to pull up. So in the world of not very effective things, this one has definitely not really done the job. Yeah, I'll just say conclusively, this has not done anything at all. And back to bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. Okay, it's been a bit more than a couple of hours. I got a little bit distracted doing some other things. So this has had plenty of time to do what it needs to. Now this is the vinegar mix, the vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. Just going to take some of that excess liquid out. I mean, I can see that it's lifting stuff. It's not like really, it doesn't feel like it's really getting in there yet. It feels like it's just lifting the surface. To be fair, it's pretty dirty. Personally, I would say that's disappointing. Like, I might be able to get in there with a scraper. And like I said, this has had extra time. Nah, I'm going to say conclusively that has not really cut it in my opinion. The various fixtures and fittings I removed earlier have now been left in the bath for at least 12 hours to settle, with some dishwasher tablets in there as well. I think we can tell by the colour of the water that at least something's been vaguely cleaned in there. I'm going to pull all these pieces back together and put the wire racks through the dishwasher. In the meantime, I've given the external of the oven a good old clean down, a good old wipe, got rid of a lot of the excess grease that was on the outside there. A lot of this was very easy to remove on the external because it hadn't really been baked in. It was just kind of sitting there and just need a little bit of elbow grease and away it came. So it's looking a lot better now. Now to give the steam cleaner a try. I've got a lot of hope for this because it seemed to me like the thing that really worked with the lemon was the heat. So I actually don't have the correct attachments anymore. I don't know, they probably got lost in the move. But I'm just using this attachment straight onto the nozzle. And we'll just see if we can capture this. Right, so that was just a real quick little session, and this was with some really baked on stuff, so it is actually loosening and bringing it off more effectively than the lemon stuff. I tried the lemon stuff in here and it got to a point where it wasn't actually making a difference, so I'm going to try a different attachment on this and give it a few minutes and see how we do. So as you can see, that's actually taken a bit of a bite out the really deep ingrained stuff. I think the key element here is an element of heat, and that's just helping us along. So the lemon stuff helps because it was getting nicely warmed through, but actually the steam cleaner is doing a far better job focally in actually getting the really deep stuff out. I'm back onto the enamel on this in a lot of places where I wasn't before. Right, so we're now on to the eco paste. So the instructions say take the sponge, damp with warm water, run over the paste. Oh gosh, this sponge has seen far better days, but we'll see how we do. Yeah, the sponges are way to fall to pieces, so I might need to get a new one. And then just rub over the affected areas. Like, I can see that it's browning the paste up a little bit, but I'm not wholly convinced that it's going to lift everything that's in there. Elements of that aren't bad. It isn't getting into the deep stuff, but it's far superior to the baking soda, quite frankly. And it's far superior than just the washing up liquid. Okay, we're going to give this another couple of tries. I'm going to use a slightly different cloth this time. I'll use my blue cloth. I think my honest feeling is that this would be a really good finishing product. I have been at this off and on for days now, and I've tried out all of the methods in various different combinations. So let's have a look at what we've got. Now, this one is probably the best looking one out of all of the ovens because this one had the least usage anyway, so it was quite an easy clean by comparison. This oven's probably had the least work done on it. This one's had a quick wipe over, but it's half usable now. This one has had the same amount of testing of all of the different methods, and frankly, it looks a lot better, but it is not, it's not there. It's not clean. It's not all the way clean. Not even close. So having tested all of these methods over a number of days and in various different ways, I'm actually going to say that basically none of them actually work. So I'm going to list my favourite to my least favourite, with no guarantees any of them are going to work for you. They may work on lightly soiled areas or newly soiled areas, but I wouldn't advise them for anything too deep. In dead last place, washing up liquid. Don't bother, it's a waste of time. I left that stuff on for several hours. I tried it in several different ways. It didn't even lift the surface stuff. Useless. Second to last place, bicarbonate of soda and distilled vinegar. I saw some people have some good results with this, but I think this is probably what they were using to take up a recent spill, not really cooked on grease and dirt. So again, not really useful. In third place, the humble lemon. Actually did quite a good job. It got through the top layers of grease quite well, even loosened up some of the stuff, but I'll be honest, I think the thing that made the difference with that was adding the heat. But because it did a reasonable job, we're putting it in third place. In second place, this funny hard surface cleaner stuff. This worked quite well, but again, did not get into the real deep stuff. Takes off a nice layer of the surface. If you've got a week spare to do cleaning with this, you will get there, but I mean a week of it, a week solid, easy. The best of the worst methods is the steam cleaner, because it did actually get into the deeper dirt. It wasn't entirely straightforward to get into the deeper dirt, but it did start lifting it. So I think that one of the main factors in all of this is the amount of heat that you can apply in that oven. Right, and now for the product which actually made the most difference, which I didn't actually feature at the beginning of the video. And this is the one which I would advise over and over again. It's a good scraper, okay? I know that this seems like it's just like a tool that I used for all of the methods, but quite honestly, I think without this, we wouldn't be anywhere today. We would still have a filthy oven. So the steamer loosened things up. This could get underneath it and get it away. Same with the lemon stuff. The lemon stuff would loosen a little bit. This kind of got into the cracks and pulled it away. I kind of feel a little bit like if I just had a bowl of hot water and this, I would get quite far quite quickly. One other final worthy mention is the humble dishwasher tablet, and this represents the dishwasher as well, because anything that I could get out of this oven and into the dishwasher went in the dishwasher. Even things like the fan cover at the back there, that went through the dishwasher, came out gleaming, and all I needed to do was give it a very, very gentle scrub to get what was left on there off. Basically, the dishwasher would get everything up to the temperature that you needed to get it up to and help loosen it at the same time. Although the oven isn't perfect, I feel like it's clean enough to get us through Christmas, and I'll probably do some more work on this in the new year. If you're interested in the kind of things that we do for Christmas here at Bramble Cottage, drop us a subscribe down below. We're going to be having an English Christmas meal and a Swedish Christmas meal. So anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.